Welcome to Uncle Musa Grocery, 6523 Woodland Avenue in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
I'm a customer of Uncle Musa. I came here to get some things from grocery. Their things are so nice. They never get expired. They are the best quality. They have the best price ever anyone can get. They have so many things like cream, like meat, a lot of kind of meat. We have so many kind, and it's the best grocery store I've ever seen here in Woodland. They are located at the 65th and Woodland. If you want, I really appreciate you guys to come over to come and patronize with us because they sell the best quality.
Uncle Musa's Groceries on Woodland Avenue, 6523 Woodland Avenue, Philadelphia, PA. Musa's store is composed of varieties of African food as well as Americans, but predominantly African food. You have dry fish, you have cassava, you have yams, you have plantains, bananas, and Musa even goes out of his way to pay people extra to cut the potato grains for customers to save them extra time. We have deeper, we have fufu, we have the refrigeration center, then we also have cosmetics. This is the place to come in Philadelphia. If you come to Philly, you don't reach to Uncle Musa's Groceries, you have not made your trip complete. Welcome, and we look forward to seeing you sponsoring our business. Thank you.
This is Uncle Musa's store, 6523 Woodland Avenue. It's the only store, a grocery store, that deals with African stuff. Anything African thing you can get in Uncle Musa's store. I am from Igbo in Nigeria. So, ndị Igbo dum, onye ọbụla wụ onye Igbo, ya bịa na Uncle Musa's store, 6523 Woodland Avenue. Ọ ebe ọ ga-enweta anything wụ ihe ndị Igbo na-eri.
Welcome to Uncle Musa Grocery, 6523 Woodland Avenue in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. the business. We have a business on grocery store or African food, all West African food from Liberia, mostly Liberian food. And we have a palm oil imported from Liberia, and we have a very good customer service. If your customer buy from Uncle Musa Grocery, you get bonus certain times, and things are very reasonable. We have a good palm oil. Anything you want from Africa, West Africa, you can get it from Uncle Musa Grocery. We do retail and wholesale. So you can visit, we have a couple of stores in Philadelphia. We have one on 6523 Woodland Avenue, and another one is a clothing store on 6519 Woodland Avenue. And we have another one on Upper Darby, Gary Road. So you're welcome for shopping. Everything is nice. Customer service perfect. So
welcome to Fabric Queen of Woodland. Everyone that's looking for nice African for wedding, whatever fabric you need, you can just come over here. You have all this nice stuff. If you need ashebi, you guys can come over here for baby shower, for wedding. You guys are welcome. She have really nice stuff. You can see all over there, all the men over here. You don't have to go to the theater and then they're going to be telling you all kind of stories. You can just come here. They're already made. And for ladies, you can just look for whatever fabric you're looking for and match it for the men. And, your husband already have a shirt made. You can get stuff for your kids. You can get stuff for the whole family. We have African slippers and ashobi hand ties all over. We have different kinds of lists and everything. So you guys are welcome, okay? It's really nice. It's Fabric Queen on Woodland, 9695 off of Woodland. 6625 Woodland Avenue, okay? So you guys are welcome, 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 welcome. You have nice stuff here for ladies, for men, for kids, and for everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Fabric Queen of Philadelphia. Fabric Queen of Philadelphia is 100% African-owned business. At Fabric Queen, we are specialized in high quality wax product, Swiss lace, jewelry, and beauty products that will make you shine like the queen of fabrics. We are located at 6625 on Woodland Avenue, 10 Philadelphia. Telephone number 215-800-0228. Tell the management of Fabrics Queens in Philadelphia is easy and salt of the Liberia Public Radio gives you this message. Tell all Akwaba. We want to bring you this obituary announcement from our obituary photo of the Liberia Public Radio 10LPR TV. It is with profound sadness that we inform you the death of our beloved husband, father, brother, uncle, grandfather, and great-grandfather, Brigadier General Tawala G. Dennis, formerly of the Armed Forces of the Republic of Liberia, who passed away peacefully at his residence on November 22, 2022 in Worcester County, Massachusetts, USA. General Willard G. Dennis is survived by his wife, Mrs. Martha G. Dennis, 20 children, 54 grandchildren, 28 grandchildren, and several hosts of relatives and friends in the USA, Liberia, Europe, Asia, and other parts of the world. Wakekeeping and funeral services of the late Brigadier General Willard G. Dennis will be held on the 20th and 21st of January 2023 at the AME Zion's Church on 55 Illinois Street, Worcester County, Massachusetts. Pa Willard G. Dennis wishes he be buried in his hometown of Boca Town in Grangeda County, Bazant District. This announcement was brought into Liberia Public Radio by Mrs. Martha G. Dennis, widow of the deceased, and Mr. P. Dennis, brothers of the deceased of the family. Okay, folks, good evening, good morning, welcome. I'm Afonso Sort of the Liberia Public Radio, NLP Era TV. What a beautiful holiday, whatever you are. We say thank you so much. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Thank you for your commitment to this network broadcasting to this event outside of the main studio in neighboring Bay State. So we are mobile, we are reachable, and we can do anything. Well, today is Monday. As you know, this is Martin Luther King Day. It's a major holiday here in the USA. This is where the struggle of liberations, the rights of people, and so it is a very huge date. We hope and pray that you spend this day and reflect also your own sacrifices that you are making and your voices to be heard as well in your country in a very honest fashion. So we want to welcome you this evening to this evening broadcast. By the way, we have been doing that in the past, but just to re-echo to all our followers, let us know, and we can. Again, folks, I'm Sinto. Good evening to all of you. I hope I'm audible. We starting here very shortly. Mr. So will be back. I hope. I'm not too sure. Again, welcome to Library Public Radio. We're going to be discussing a lot of issues here tonight, and it's very interesting. But I would like Mr. So to take the lead on that once he joins us back. But there are so many things that are happening back home, and I think we ourselves are trying our best to be involved, to be enlightening. Not only do we try to enlighten you, but we also want to be enlightened. It's what is happening back home, and there's so many things that is happening back home that it's just difficult sometimes. Not difficult, but it's from time to time it gets to be a little bit confusing because people talk about stuff that perhaps will not help anything, whatever it is they're trying to do. But yet still they tend to get themselves involved in it, and so. But there's many things we're going to be talking here tonight. Mr. So is back. Mr. So, go ahead. The most liberal. Thank you. Good evening. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you. What a minute. It look like Emma George gonna have a good time here. He's smiling, laughing. Are you smiling with the liberal? You sure you're on the right path?
I smile with Miss Cotto.
Oh, look at
The other papa, he full of trouble too.
ANC and Unity Party, it's gonna be sweet here tonight.
You see him? That's the danger hanging out with this guy here. He's very stereotyping looking guy.
Force it over, you know.
Okay, guys. Koto, Amos, Josh. Good evening. Welcome. How you doing, folks, today? Happy holiday. Martin Luther King Day. Who is the Martin Luther King weekend prefer to prefer? If there's any in Liberia.
Me.
Please.
Why are you gonna dismiss this? I'm saying me. Why are you gonna dismiss me like that?
Put our hand down before somebody chop it up.
Okay, well, according to you, I believe in myself. I am who I say I am.
Okay. All right, guys. Good evening. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How everybody spend a holiday? Make some holiday money or just?
Well, it's been very hectic here in the Sacramento area. The rain here in the Sacramento area was unbelievable, especially Saturday evening or Saturday morning. To be honest, I thought perhaps we were going to be in the area of flooding and what have you. But of course, it has some flooding stuff in which must in the south side and stuff like that. While I'm on this here, let me please allow me to speak Crown a little bit here, if
So
you
I'm
don't
saying,
mind.
please, I beg you.
No, Mr. So, this is very important.
hold on,
This is
hold on
very,
first.
this is very important.
Wait.
This is very, Mr. So, this is very important. This is
You are about to go to the back.
no,
right now.
you can't pack me in the bag like you've been doing. So
You ready
please, let me say quickly. Let me say this.
Is it being paid for?
Excuse me.
Is it being paid for?
Yes, it is.
To whom?
So let me
Where you send the money?
let me we'll deal with that later. Let me speak the crown. Yeah, that one thing I'm going to do for you. Declaring, yes, senor, Jason cooking it. But no, come on, dear, near where they are now. You're cooking, Sister Teresa. Ponsugo. And you know, America, no, I black family, you know, Monwa family, you. When one near the bad, no, California, when, you want. Family clearing the blank and the buy my way, no, you want. I say, you know, now say, Auntie, come on, Kaiwa. You can't way away and way one and Ponsugo. Ya there, I'm from Blind when in sorry and send you funny and win. In the end, and Polly, no, or bar Polly, we are we and ya no say, we say, Ben, who still teen
Okay,
you can see I ne,
your time over.
can see I ne, and when they're all in Ponsugo.
Your time over.
So what you doing, Teresa? Thank you for.
Oh, you can hear crown?
So you think I just you say you think I just sat down like bro for nothing?
We get serious problem in
I told you.
We get serious problem in that country. He can't even wait for us to start the program. Then he start. Anyway.
He the crime. He fighting with the crime. You can see he chewing his tongue.
He told me backstage, he said he won't compete with Cotto because the way Cotto was speaking Loma, so he too, either way he tried to that or he tries to.
Cotto said that before Cotto said that before
But thanks for the opportunity.
Okay, guys. Good evening. Welcome to the show. Jonathan, how are you? Jonathan, are you hearing us?
You always freezing.
The ANC need to get a main phone. Or they need to find here a device. But Joy, you need to talk to Cummins to get, because Jonathan is all out there doing everything possibly.
The message, Deputy Secretary General, he the one to be talking to Cummins for him to talk to come from to give me a phone.
No. You see, they want in total. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, guys, let's get a conversation going. Let me remove him. If he comes back, if he's restored, we will get him. Okay, guys, a lot of news happening inside Liberia and here. But let's see here. It's our prayers and thought goes out to some of our West African country. According to France 24, about 50 women in the northern part of Burkina Faso, these Islamic fundamentalist militants kidnapped over 50 women. Their destination right now is unknown. It just sentenced 38 people to life imprisonment over the 2019 protests. Over 2019 protests, they were sentenced to life imprisonment, according to report from Egypt as well. Okay, so these are major news making headlines, and what I'm about to announce to our many viewers, listeners, followers. In fact, if this is your first time on this network, we wholeheartedly welcome you. We say thank you so much for your commitment, for always being here. Even though there are some things we talk here, and because of your own political attachment, you disagree with us, but you still show that resilience, resolve, to come and listen to us. It doesn't mean you don't have work to do. So we really, really appreciate that. Follow us. We are on Facebook, we are on Twitter, we are on YouTube, and we are on LinkedIn. So many ways. And we are doing everything possible to add audio versions as well, especially for folks in Liberia, well, it will save you data. We are working on that. And as soon as it comes through, we will do that. Besides that, as a community network, I think we should also render services to you. And part of that, if you have your business, you're in Liberia, you're in the USA or whatever, you can show patronage. We don't want to be like always come here, pull cash app number, Zelle number, support us. Yeah, yes, we do need support. But before you support us, let also provide services to you. And part of that is to advertise. So it's like a give and take. So we can't just take only your money. We don't want to be the one who can just show hand and we can't get something, we can't give anything in return. So
You can advertise your business, and not just on the business. If you're having a convention, you're having a reunion, you're having a birthday, you're having a funeral memorial, those are things people don't want to hear, but they are things that are happening in real time. Those are things that we can undo as long we live. Let us know. It doesn't matter where you are, even if you are in Alaska. If there's no way, we will find a way, and we have the ability to save you costs that we don't even have to go there. We would just want to tell you to give you one or two ways. Trust me or not, we'll do it. Even you want to do an announcement. Look, life is very short. Our own contributor here, she celebrated her birthday recently. You make yourself happy. I'm telling you, invest into yourself. Don't mind people. Whatever you want to, whether in the hall, in your own house, make that little bit joyful noise. Share your story, share your joy with people on the social media, on the wall, stage, in the good faction. So let us know. We will work with you and find a way. Call me. Do not call a laborer, because when you call a laborer, you're not going to get anything out of him. So just reach me. Trust me. We will hear from you. Okay, guys, let's get a conversation. Good evening. Welcome to Laborer. If I don't poke you, then the conversation can go. Go you get into use to it now. Anyway, Janetta, are you there now? Is he?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, you were praying? I thought you were praying because they were looking at your frozen. Okay. So,
are you all doing? I was not praying.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah, Janetta, you're not looking well. Okay. It's still not going away. Things bring out things, and it has to be discussed in totality. We started on it, and then the Nobel Prize winner laureate, I added a little bit, spicy up. I don't know which sort of pepper from, whether from Lofa N or from which counted, and just put into it, but it became an issue. But I am being told just before coming on air, someone close working. Those the press statement, as you know, you saw the statement that came out from Liman Bowie, allegedly came out from Liman Bowie, because I have not verified that, I have not authenticated that to say it is her. But interestingly, and this is why, but we're waiting to see if there will be an official statement. But interestingly, just before coming on it, I've been told it was a conversation held inside war. In fact, last week, and some of the United Partisans will not know, we are now hearing there was an inner war conversation held with the former president of the Republic of Liberia, involving to the former vice president and potential candidate for 2023, asking him to see if Unity Party can find a new face, to give it a different structure. Those were we yet to verify those information, and we are being told Liman was also part of that. As to whether she's going to be or who going to be, that wasn't disclosed. However, someone also monitored who were part of that decided to undercut. Now, we want to be very careful. The authenticity of this news is yet to be verified. We try to reach out with a foundation based in Ghana. Everybody seems to be tightly. Of course, she's not going to come out to say anything right now. But this speaks to the volume. There's a specific wing of the Helen Johnson Sirleaf Unity Party still have a very strong and a solid voice within the Unity Party of Joseph Boyka. That brings us to the point: what is the difference with the Helen Johnson Sirleaf wing of the Unity Party and that of Ambassador Joseph Boyka wing? Who is really in charge? This is quite interesting. Dr. George Toto is right just in time, a supporter of Councillor Tiawont Gonglo. We're going to treat the letter as it is, as if it is from Liman Bowie, who also was seeing the name filtering as a potential VP. However, this source saying this evening it was a conversation. In fact, it was an inner war conversation here within the Unity Party. It is a concern right now, and here we are again. It coming out. Costa and the tag team of the Omen Boyka coming up with an elaborate press statement. Gentlemen, let's have a conversation.
Let me start with the Liberal Progressive, who is a strong supporter of Ambassador Boyka. Koto Jala also is a strong supporter of Ambassador Boyka. Something seems not right. Something seems unusual happening within the politics of Liberia. Finding alternative to unseat President Joy Weah. The Liberal Progressive. I'm not sure whether you read a statement, but the statement is out there. But if it is proven to be right at some point in time, that it was a conversation within the bare will, trying to figure out, considering all that is happening, the health conditions. I'm not here to diagnose Ambassador Boyka fitness, but we said it the last time. There were a lot of mistakes that took place from the handlers of Ambassador Boyka. What they did was wrong. They didn't do him good. People say it was strategic, but I say it was wrong. If it was right, they would have allowed a local physician to have even made that statement. They could have even come up with a short tweet or statement that the vice president has walked in the local hospital to do a little routine. None of that was happening, and we saw the exhibit of the vice president. The Liberal, let me just bring you in here. Hearing what we are hearing now and what is playing out there, what is going on within the United Party?
Thank you, Mr. So. All of the Tabata here is laughable. It's very, very laughable. And I think anyone who wants to take time to go into the Liberian People Tabata, you're wasting your time. Look, Mr. So, first thing first, if Ambassador Baka is not feeling well, I think that will be left with him, his family, and his medical doctor to decide as to whether he able to go through the process of campaigning and whatever. Number one. Second thing is, and I'll come back to that. Second thing is, we have this sedition that said they're trying to seek the health interest of Ambassador Baka. Laughable as well. But they lie so much, but then I'm not surprised of CDC. CDC, that's all they do. Lie. They said a man had a stroke. A hand can't lift up. The left hand can't move. And they had a little video clip of him somewhere on the internet where he was using a left hand to wipe. I'm not too sure what I was playing, but it's something like it just happened. He was using the left hand to wipe his forehead. So these people, they got nothing on him. What I will say, though, I am an admirer of Ambassador Bakai, and I will hope that he will take the state power to stabilize. However, I think Ambassador Baka will do us all good to face this thing head on. With his medical doctor present, because why? This is not something for you to say that this is just medical stuff is between the doctor and the patient. The patient is someone who wants to lead us. The patient is somebody who wants to take on responsibility for me. The patient wants to be my father of the land. So we all have vested interest into this patient. So I think Ambassador Baka, I was truly believe Ambassador Baka to do us a favor and address this thing here. Don't use surrogate. Don't use people who have no clue of what exactly you're thinking. You should be able to come out publicly with your medical doctor present and then let them explain to us. We all know he has a pacemaker, but this has nothing to do with pacemaker. Anybody can be ill. Just quite recently myself, I was in a hospital. And when I got out of the hospital, if you were to videotape me from the time I was leaving the hospital and my wife helped me to put me in the car, if you were to videotape me, you think that I wasn't going to make it the next day. Because when you come out of those procedures or come out of the hospital because of the medication and things, you're weak. You're weak. So these sedition that even live here, they're so stupid. I don't mind. This is my first time using this publicly. But it's very ridiculous. They themselves, as some of them, they have visited hospital before, and they have issue getting out of those hospitals. And they're going to use this stuff here to say he's now feeling well. Well, I got news for them. Even if he's not feeling well, sickness is not for one person. Sickness is not for one person. So, Mr. So, I think it's laughable. I think let us don't spend time on this. All we can ask is have the Honorable Ambassador Baka to come and address this. Now, let me say this one last thing.
Yeah, please.
If Ambassador Baka is unable or refuses or just don't see the need to address this, we should leave that up to Ambassador Baka and the voters. You're not the person who's supposed to decide for the voters. Let the voter decide. That's all I can say. Let's move on to other subject matter, please.
Oh, no. You're not conducting the program. You're not going to throw a soundbite right meet and then you say we should move on. And please,
that's
let's
my
make
opinion.
it
That's my opinion. I'm entitled to it. I'm entitled to it. I'm entitled to it.
Okay, let me carry on, please. I am in charge. Thank you so much.
Well, excuse me, you're in charge, but you're not in charge of my opinion. It's a wonderful Martin Luther King Day. I don't want to start a fight with you. So let's go on.
Yeah, please. The entertainment in the country is too much. When we come here, let's have some good conversations. I'm not here to entertain people. There are a lot of entertainment clubs. There are a lot of stuff around here. People here want to have but for you to say we should move on, we can't move on. And two, before
Mr. So, I'm entitled to my view.
Don, can I make my point, please?
Yeah, but you cannot single my view out as being something that you want to have your show on. The liberal will not accept that, and the liberal will not allow you to carry on based on my view. I give my view, and my view is my view. I'm entitled to it.
And I can give my opinion towards your view, which now makes it right. But please let me speak. First and foremost, let's get it right. For you to range insult as seditions, I think that is unfair, is unbalanced. It was in sedition that showcased Ambassador Boyka. We all know it's politics. We saw what happened when Hillary Clinton fell. The Republican ran with it. It was not seditions that went in his literary trying to recover without even getting the doctor note, without even showcasing. I think then that's just is unfair too. But I will come to Koto and let's see. Dr. Toto.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. If you have people like liberal like on this network here, who is telling us not to have this conversation, and we are talking about the fitness of the person that's going to be in the overall office. We are not attacking individual personally. We are talking about the surroundings of the presidency, what it brings to the table, the energy and the zeal that when he is elected, things that he's going to do. Isn't it right for us to have this civil conversation without being that so personal?
I'm gonna disagree with the liberal on that. Let me just make the point. Why at the same time we are discussing the Ambassador Burger is the Liberian polity. If I just today I was listening to NPR radio, and the age of the United States president is a point of discussion also too. Looking at Joe Boyka right now, I'm not Joe Boyka or Joe Biden right now.
Right.
In terms of health also too, it is a point of discussion. Looking at Donald Trump also too, who want to relaunch his bid also to look at his age also too, very high up there too. It was a very good discussion today while listening to NPR. So I don't think it should be so strange when it comes to like brother discuss the ambassador age also too. So I think I disagree with the labor on that. Let's discuss the issue. And then, are you giving my time to talk now, or you go around?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, considering the ambassador or Ambassador Joe Burger have right now, considering the letter of Labor Bowen wrote, I kind of disappointed in the statement from Labor Bowen, being a peace. The category that she found was said, I don't think it was a rightful place for her to go. Appealing to people to let go of Ambassador Boyka. Ambassador Boyka, despite his age or his health, he's not her kid. He knows why he joined the politics. I don't think he had been used by people like the way in which her letter turned to be, begging people. You have to let go of the woman go to retirement so he can have time for your grandchildren. I don't think it was. I think her letter, her comment, a little bit kind of insulting. So please, I think the Unity Party people need to respond to her statement. We not be hearing that she's a presidential vice president in making, whether that is from the Unity Party or coming from or ANC. to be the presidential vice president coming also be hearing all these rumors. And for all to come on such a statement like that, to the ambassador, I think is not right. I think Unity Party is about to Unity Party folks about to respond to that statement from her.
Oh no, she's getting out of the attack right now as we speak.
I usually when I saw that communication from her, no, she was not going to survive the attack from Unity Party. The ambassador, he's not a kid. He know why he joined, he joined this obvious. He have to make that decision. When I start go by, he's a good man. He help me be an issue or problem, but I mean, according to him, like everybody's saying, like I agree with the laborer on that also too. Let a qualified physician come on doctor, try to guide him through the process and come and say, I'm fit. We saw it from Joe Biden in the election time in the US. The doctor came out and they say he was fit to run the office. And let's do that. Let's follow some of the good stuff for the United States also to account. We have presidents like that, see kind of greater age also too. That's the point I want to say.
Okay. I'm going to reserve Koto special because I think she's gathering all of her facts and other things here. Amos George, when the Liberal was speaking, I could see from visual expressions that probably something was saying right with you. Let me bring you in. What do you make of Lima here? And again, if like we are hearing, we've been told that it was a conversation held behind closed door relative to what came out and somebody decided to make it like a relief. We have not heard from Lima herself as to whether she put that out. It surfaced. We don't know here. But if it was a conversation, and like we are saying, Helen Johnson Sally, we also hearing, was also involved in an inner conversation with the Unity Party. If it is true that they have come out to have this conversation or told Ambassador Boycott to step aside because of other reasons, there are a lot of reasons that she outlined. I want to come to that later on. Are they doing the right thing here, or they are just jumping ahead of their shadow?
Mr. So let me say something. Every Liberian has the right. Every Liberian has the right to call if the wrong president or opposition. That is just the right. I don't care if it is my right to to resign or commit to not to run. It is my right. So you can't say it's not in place. Because if you say that, I mean, I don't have the right to speak. I do. I'm a stakeholder. Every stakeholder, they have the right to speak. So that's not somebody to say that the president is not her place. No. She called him to resign. If he doesn't resign, what should do? She can't push him out, but she has a right to express her view. Let me say something. He says something a little bit. Let me say this. I always say, if you are not, I got nothing to say about your health condition. I can say, oh, I'm sorry you're sick. Okay. But I have no business to go further to discuss anything. But when you say you want to become the state property, we have to cross-examine you from bottom to top. It's just it. No way around it. The last time when Joe Biden was claiming they step at the airplane and you slept the other day, and people start asking whether that old age or what, people ask, were they wrong? No. They were right to ask. And that's why I said, but Joe, what happened? So we should not make this thing to be like people want to go after him personally. That he got nothing to do with politics. We just want to go after. No. He wants to be the next president of the Republic of Liberia. We have the right to talk about his moral character, his health, and every other thing that relates to anybody who want to run for that office. Nothing is off the table. The only thing we should not go personal. They're the one who put in the pictures up. I was not in the hospital. I didn't go there. They're the one who put in this picture up. And if the picture raises concern, I have the right to ask the folks. Does that mean I'm violating his right? No. I'm not violating his rights. So we should not turn it to be personal. If anybody, any patriotic Liberian disaster for Omen Barker, the point may be he may have this condition, I decide I'm asking not to run. That's perfect. He doesn't have to respond. If he want to respond, he can respond. But it's my right to speak out. But I will say this, I have said it before in the program. There are many of the people around Joseph Barker, they don't like him. They want to use him as a vessel to get to political power. That's all it's about. It's not that they care about him. When he left the vice president office, how many people is around him at the time? None of them are around. But because they know that potentially he could be president, so therefore they all coalescing around him now to say they support, they like him. No, they don't like him. Why we can't speak? Let him come out. If I'm physically fit to run, perfect. I can't argue that. We are not seeing his medical record. There's no medical document to show us. They say he went to the hospital. Madam Cotto said he was, the other day we spoke, he was well, he was home. But he left the hospital yesterday. They say he had common fever. He stayed in the hospital 7 days. I want to know what kind of fever he had. It is my right.
Talking like an opposition ANC man.
It is my right, Dr. Toto. You can say ANC man. I don't care about that. You sat down here and expressed the view. I didn't say a word of you. I didn't say, oh no, because you
okay.
No.
Okay, let me bring in.
But I'm also a Liberian. So I want to know from Madam Cotto, what did the doctor say? What kind of fever he had? So next time we'll know when someone got a kind of fever, we rush into the hospital.
So
for 7 days.
Joy. Is Cotto the press secretary? Okay, so Cotto.
Yes, the woman went after me. I told her yesterday she went after me.
So you paying there?
No,
So Cotto, let me add a little layer onto now.
What layer you coming out to this thing again? What layer?
The layer I want to add. The layer I want to add to it is, I'm wondering whether there was an honesty here on the part of Unity Party. Let us be honest here. This is a national conversation. It's not all about Unity. We know the Unity partisans, at the end of the day, they're going to get a power board, the Liberal and the other folks. Okay, we got that. We understand it fully well. But we are arguing daily, nightly, transparency surrounding the presidency. Whoever going to be there, it doesn't matter. There should be no rare land. Nobody should be given a pass. They yet to even admit that they misguided the vice president. It was handled the wrong way, and this is why we are having all of this conversation. And they come out with a little positions, with just a little one-sentence tweet that the vice president, and even after the vice president leaves the hospital, if there was any kind of little the physician that even attended to the vice president who have come and make a public statement, we see that happening here. But for somebody to be, and I'm concerned as a Liberian because he's a statement. All right, I can't question him. I'm not a doctor to say he's not faith, he's faith. But I'm also concerned when other people deliberately try to endanger these, our former leaders who we should still have as our proud to the country. You hear when we go to hospital, you get a doctor, know what they tell you go and rest. But because of people thinking they want to have a political strength or make a political score, quickly ran to the old man there. You want to do an interview, you want to show him. That was wrong. It is indecent. I'm quite sure the doctor told him, yeah, you go down, but go and rest. They didn't say go and take microphone or go talk to people because you're afraid of your opponent. Do you think we were treated fairly as a Liberian? Let's put aside this whole political bickering that is going on.
So that's it, Leah, you out of there?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Sue. I take portion of Mr. Josh opinion, and also I agree with the Liberal. Praise the God, because I will tell you the portion I have People have right to say what they want to say. I like the statement Lima Bowen made. She has the right to make that statement. But was there an alternative that she made this statement against? I thought she would have come out to say, okay, Omer, you are so tired, and I think you are old enough. Let me take the stand, and I'm coming out to run as a candidate. Okay, that then I make a sense. But what's the alternative that she has? For me, that's the point I look at. You have the right to say what you want to say. No doubt about it. If the man is old, okay, you have an alternative. They have so many candidates. Find a candidate of your choice and support your candidate. That's why I don't go like when I run a campaign. I don't just go and tell people come and follow. I ask you, who do you want? So if I find that you don't have somebody, or if I can convince you to support my candidate, then of course I tell you to support my candidate. But people have weak argument. They have weak way of putting on the next candidate. That they say to pull down this other person, to pull down the other person. The person is sick. The person is old. What's your alternative? Can you put forward your alternative? Can you push your objective? With what I heard you, Mr. Joyce, saying that people pushing the old man because they want to get a job. So are you supporting Kume because you want a job?
That's what.
No, hold on. Let's do it.
I'm just saying, you are calling my name. I didn't come in.
Let's do it one. Okay. Let's do it one at a time, please. For the good of our audience.
Are you supporting a candidate you supporting because of job? Of course not. Okay, if I'm supporting my candidate, give me a chance of me supporting. I know what I support him. I know he's competent. I know he's capable. Okay, if he's sick today, anybody can get sick. So that's the point. We have been sick the few days. So that didn't mean that was the end of me. And if you have seen me the first 2 days, I couldn't even come on Facebook. You know that. So how many days I stayed up before coming out? I could not. So this is something that is just, you can't stop somebody from being sick.
So when you were sick, what did your doctor suggest anything to you, if I may ask?
I didn't even go to doctor. That's the first place.
Oh, Lord, Koto.
I didn't go because I knew what my problem was. So for me, I knew what I had. So
is the Liberal texting you?
Sorry?
The Liberal texting you?
I beg you, man. Liberal not texting. Why you say Liberal? You just want to pick Liberal's mouth.
To say you're not going to doctor and things like that. All right, go ahead.
So the man is age. The man is sign-minded. He has the right to say, I do not want to run, or I want to run. So many times they have interviewed him and he signed enough. Okay. So nobody pushing. You want to tell me that any of us will go and just push Joe Baka, go, and he just get a bit, is he that dummy to be pushed? So I hate to hear people saying that. Nobody wants him except that you guys are running behind Kumi because they want a job. I personally, a job I can't even do it before running behind any candidate in Liberia for a job. No.
Okay.
So that's not the point. And also, and I want to tell the Liberal, let these people talk. For me, I don't have time to let them talk. All I doing, while they're talking, I'm pushing my candidate. The day time comes, he say he can no longer run as a candidate. Of course, then I have other options. That's why they have so many candidates. So that's something that to say nobody else is there besides him. If the time comes, he can no longer do it. Other people are there capable of doing it. But I'm not going to support George Weah. That's my point. Because I know George Weah is already a field leader. So that's where, for me, I put my case. She has the right to talk, but the only problem I have with her, she didn't have an option. So let me come there and say, oh, I don't want if I say I don't want Kume to be a candidate, I have Omer Baka. She don't want for Omer Baka to run because he's old. Who does she have to bring forth? Who does she have? So that's the point I have for her. I'm not stopping her from making a point. So if you want to get that point from me, that's the point I have. And you see, every time you talk about it, they come out to say, oh, they're fooling the old man. They're pushing the old man. Well, who fooling the old man? The old man ain't got his own sense. How can go and push the old man? Even you always say what they call him. This boy is pushing Kumin. He pushing the old man. He fooling the old man. All of these young people there. Okay, if they are young people and capable of being a leader, let them go and come out. Let them come out. The old man is sacrificing himself to say, okay, let me go out there. How many young people ready to come to put themselves up there to say, I want to run? If you guys are, and besides, you got a young man there, comparing we are aged to Omen Baka. The wisdom that Omen Baka had that he uses. You sent the general to interview George Weah, he would never give you any sense of direction. And that's what we against. That's what we should be fighting against right now. The nightmare we get on our hand. Then worry about the Omen sickness.
Okay, let me bring in.
He purposely got at me and said, I said the Omen is well. I said the Omen was home. He was at the hospital, he's home. So it was that lie, he was home. And his ailment caught everybody by surprise.
He was not home. He just left yesterday.
I've been getting sick.
He left yesterday from the hospital.
All right. Let's spin the ball along.
I must say it caught me by surprise that I have to call to find out whether it was true, because people come up with rumors and it's not true. So when the news came up, I had to take my phone to and call to find out what was it. And it was like, oh, the old man got ill and he was taken to the hospital. Okay, that was it. And they said, oh, the man had stroke. The man can't even walk. We saw the man walking. We saw the man talking. So I don't know. And that's so far there where I can go. I have not gone. No medical doctor will take anybody diagnosis and put it out there. It is a private thing, except the persons that come out to say you're published by medical record. There is nowhere. Even our work as a nurse, we don't take people medical record and expose it to even family member. We have to get consent from the persons that is ill, that yes, give mine, even the wife. That consent has to be given. So you don't say people will go out there and start discussing people's medical condition. No, it is not. If it is not,
let me go to the next person here so we can have our comfort. Jennifer, let me just bring you in here. Into her argument, she just didn't even only say that the ambassador should step aside. This is what she wrote as well. I would also like to take this time, and this goes more or less go across the board to all of those that are in the opposition blog. And I don't know how it's going to be received, but this is what she wrote. I would also like to take this time to ask you all to consider your partnership with other political parties to form a merger that will provide a viable, that's a key word here, that's a very strong word here, a viable political option for the Liberian people. So, Janita, let me just bring you in here. Not just only getting at the ambassador, but also calling on the rest of the opposition to consolidate, to solidify their political grip, for what she call a viable option for Liberia, meaning that the sitting president should be unseated democratically. Is that options? Let's do a selective part here first. Is that option, do you think, is that a welcoming statement to all the other political parties to form a merger? This is what everybody's saying. This is what the Liberal is on point, being calling on that. Your people come together. From all indication now, like Waka and Cummings, I mean, it's like a rat and mouse. I don't know who is the mouse, who is the rat, running from who. Is she on point on that?
Oh God, he's frozen again.
Janitor. Okay. Why Janitor is
someone on the old rule.
Janitor
someone on the old rule.
Why Janitor is in different war, the Liberal.
The California. that don't really much.
The liberal.
Yes.
Let's look at that part that she also mentioned, and not just only. Let's look at the entirety. There was other. She was providing also an option, not just saying go out, but she also calling all the other oppositions to form mergers, to be uh, to be an alternative, to find solutions. Literally, I'm adding just extra. Was that a good part, or is it a double standard coming from her?
Thank you, Mr. So. I think I've already given my point on this here earlier, but as the way of having a good show, we will continue to participate. And because of that, I will say this. First thing first, let me say something to Dr. Toto, who mentioned the issue of the American president age and what medical record what have you. My problem with that, which is quite correct, and like I said, many of us as Liberians have the right to know what is happening with the person who wants to lead our country as he fit. And as he have any medical issue, we have the right to do that. However, if we try to say what is happening here in Liberia, perhaps the kinds of stuff need to be happening here in America, need to be happening in Liberia, then I think perhaps we're not doing ourselves a favor, because the level of understanding among Liberian electorate and the U.S. electorate is not the same. The level of participation in the discourse freely and without any kinds of hesitation of being freed or what have you, it's not the same in Liberia. So our discussion cannot be seen as that is happening here in the United States. That's my opinion. Now let me talk. Let me say something about the letter. I've not seen that letter, but just from listening to you, I believe it exists. This is what I would say about that letter. I think the Madam Boy has a right to write that, and I think that letter was based on her own concern as to how this thing is turning out. Now, I believe not only on her concern, I've not talked to her. I'm just saying based on my own, from my own perspective. I believe she did that because of the feeling she was having for Uncle Joe. To be somebody of high esteem, to be throwing your medical issue, being thrown into politics as the way they've been portraying in the news or in the media. So I think that's a concern. But however, this is what I thought would have happened if I was in her shoe. Yes, while you're trying to inject some sanity into this collaboration process, which is now completely out of rail, while you're trying to put more energy in it to see reason for these people to come. I think the proper address would have been, even though the old man is sick, and I'm just saying here, I'm not saying that's what she said. Even though this old man is sick, but perhaps if we all can come back on, if we are together as opposition, then perhaps the old man will see reason to say, okay, I might have one to get out of here. But this is what interests me, though, Mr. So. And I know many of you will perhaps sympathize with that. Who to say that the Ambassador Baka is not feeling within himself? Yes, I want out. I could get out. But who is out there to do what I want to do for this country? Should I sit here because of this little illness, knowing full well that I'm able to do it? However, people are concerned about my health. I can get out. But if I get out, who's stepping in? This is the question perhaps the old man is asking himself. And because of that, the fact that he cannot see anybody, fully ready to participate, fully ready to step up to the plate, to carry on what he wants to do. And because he can't find anybody. And maybe because of that, he's saying he's not going to get out. And I know people will come back and say, oh, well, what's about? Well, please save me in that. These are people that are in the race. Because of them, the old man is staying in. If these people are sincere, if these people are good, if these people are able to do what the old man wants to do for us, he won't be suffering himself, staying in this race while he's still going through this medical issue. This is deeper than just Dr. Baka medical issue. So we shouldn't come out here and say X, Y, and Z. The old man is in this race because perhaps, and I'm saying perhaps, Those that are in it, including the Cummings, the Gonglos, and everybody else, he cannot see in them, I'm saying, from me, he cannot see in them the ability for these people to lead according to him, I'm saying. And therefore he's saying to himself, maybe if I want to get out, who am I going to turn to be able to take this mandate that I'm turning over? Who here now I can give my touch and carry on to stabilize this country? Nobody. And maybe because of that, he's saying I'm not getting out.
Okay, so before I go to the next person, are you saying, and you're just speculating, perhaps the reason he's in it, he doesn't see anybody within the Unity Party? Is that what you're saying?
Not just in the Unity Party.
Everyone, no, that his party. We're talking about that his party. We're talking about.
Well, I'm that's fine. Put it to Unity Party. That's fine. I don't see it. Maybe he's saying I don't see anybody, and forget about Unity Party. Manaboy is writing and saying that we need to come together, and that process. Ambassador Baka is not a fool. Ambassador Baka knows his health is much more important to all of us. Most importantly, to his own family. But the issue for me, I'm saying perhaps, if he gets out now and say, well, I'm not feeling well, I'm going to get out of the race. He's not coming into the race here to go dance booga. He's not trying to be president of the Republic of Liberia to go and steal money. He's not in this for woman business. He's in the master saw the liberal and speaking. This is not time to interrupt the liberal. He's not in it because he wants the central bank to print money for him. Far from it. He's not in it to go and appoint family member or girlfriends to use different positions. Far from it. He's in it because he wants to stabilize this country. He's in it because he has seen a lot what the country is capable of doing, and they are not doing it. And since he has that experience, and he knows, he has recognized the potential of Liberia and Liberians, he wants to make sure that this thing is carried out so these people will have the opportunity to fix their own country. And he's saying, I'm telling you, Mr. So, that perhaps he's saying to himself, even if I'm not feeling well, if I get out, who's going to carry it? We're going to go back to the CEO thing. Maybe.
So, all right. Amos George, I think feelings, personal feelings is being inserted into national conversation. Now we need to draw that fine lines. The tone, the language of the liberal now, making a lot of accusations. I don't know whether he has facts to the things that he's saying or because of the trumpet that is being blown out there. He as a radio anchor and host to be defending it in his word to then I see is to be like personal feelings, personal things is creeping, which of course he shouldn't be doing as an angle. But that's his opinion. But I want to say that is not a view of the management and staff of the library.
I am not representing the LPR. I'm not here for kumbaya business. Forget about the LPR. I'm stating my view. LPR can push me away. They can put the distance between they and myself. Fine. But okay. I'm saying my view, and I'm not here for kumbaya on LPR. I'm not here for friendship on LPR. LPR, as far as I'm concerned, they can take their LPR and kick me out. That's fine. But I must be truthful. And that's exactly what I'm saying here.
You're not being truthful. You're talking
Mr. So why you think that I'm not being truthful? It is my belief that I'm being truthful. How can you tell me that what I believe is not what I believe? Can you do that?
Okay, we're not going to make it like a dialogue. Probably I'm not having enough convincing argument. But Amos George, let me bring you into this here. The second portion we are also hearing, which is yet to be validated. If Helen Johnson Sally, the Lehman Bowie, and other inner part of the year, in every institution, in every organization, there are some things that can be talked about that not everybody can know. You can even be executive member, and people don't get it. To just see this here.
No.
If it is true, as we were hinted just before coming on this broadcast, that it was a conversation, Helen Johnson Sally, Lehman Bowie, and other inner hierarchy of the Unity Party We all know United Party get 2 wings as well. The Helen Johnson Sirleaf wing is there. The Boycott supporter, they are there, which is okay. But if that conversation was a conversation that they were trying to spin around to figure a way out, and somebody decided to muddy the water and say, you know what, we need to get it out in the public domain so we can give it a premature death, and do that statement as a release coming from Lima Bowie. We don't know yet whether it is true. Her foundations, they are tight-lipped, they are not speaking. Even though her name is there, everything, it does not also suggest that it is 100% until, she speaks out finally. But if this conversation was held within the inner wall of United Party, what does that mean for the future of the United Party?
Let me say this. I have always said this thing here. I say the United Party, just what I said, I have always said the program has 2 wins. The Ellen Johnson win is there. And I say that win is powerful. Like it or not, they are powerful. But let me just try to disabuse the liberal here. He's talking about perhaps Honorable Barker have not seen anybody. If he wants to do it, he have not seen anybody. Gonglo, commies. He have not seen thing in there that they can do. Perhaps he's seen. But liberal, you will look at Councillor Gonglo, Mr. Cummings, and say that those people are not capable of doing what Joseph Boyka want to do in the country. Everybody got a leadership. But are you saying they are not competent or capable or educated to lead that country? That Honorable Boyka can say, yeah, these people can lead the country? I mean, this kind of thing, when you're spelling it out there, then it makes them all to start wondering as a free thinker. Talk about womanizing. Council of Congress is a womanizer, and is not coming as a womanizer. You're talking about
this I'm gonna have to get involved because you're taking this is exactly what you do. You're taking my words and misplacing it. I have to say this. I won't even let it go further than that.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
I did not say Councilor Gongo, I did not say Honorable Kumi a womanizer. I said it,
who
but
you referring to?
In a way that it's not connecting to those people. So please don't try to connect.
Okay, let's get it right. This is not a society bush here. Who are you referring to?
What did I say?
What you were
saying?
saying?
He's not. Let me repeat myself. You think you guys? No. Let me tell you this. Your hair ain't fading my mouth. My hair ain't fading your mouth. All of you, even the people that write you right now. Hey, hold on.
I have the proof, but I gave you time to.
Friendship. Let me repeat myself. This is what I said, and I will say again. I said he's not coming into this position to womanize. He's not coming to this position to steal. He's not coming to this position to put in place his girlfriends and what have you. Now, is that not what I stated earlier?
Okay, so
how can you now try to connect it to somewhere that is not connected?
Amos, please hold on 1 second. I'm going to be coming to you. And when we come to this public conversation here, we're not going to speak in ambiguities. We're not going to speak and lead our audience with that without them knowing what we're saying. So who is in those conditions you are talking about?
Mr. So, can I repeat myself? Can I repeat myself? And this is what I'm going to tell you before I repeat myself. I'm not here for kumbaya. Whether you like it or you don't like it, I will say what I believe to be the truth. Let me say this again. I said he's not coming. I didn't say someone else is coming to this position. I said, let me finish. I don't have to call names. I said he's not coming to the position to womanize. I'm speaking about Ambassador Boyka. He's the only person I'm connecting it to. He's not coming to the position to womanize. He's not coming to the position to steal. He's not coming to the position to put cousins and his relative in position. Now, if you think that whoever you want to connect to, then perhaps you're afraid that maybe that's why they're coming to the position. But that's my point that I'm making. I'm not connecting it to anybody. So please spare me the fallacy that you guys are coming up with. I'm not here to come and be afraid of anything. I say exactly what I believe.
Okay, so before Amos George come here, I'm going to expose you. This sort of behavior or just speaking and dumping things without with you not being willing to tell the audience, the public, to get a takeaway. We need to know who is the person in that position and who is doing that. You need to set that.
So let me put it in just an example. I'm not going to come play the football to kick the football on that side. Does that mean somebody else is coming to kick the football on that side? Then y'all don't do this. All of you here are intellectual.
No.
And I'm speaking. Dr. Toto, you can help. I'm speaking.
Don't call for help.
Let me just say this. Let me just say this to all of you. I'm not here to make friends. I will make my point and I will make it clear. I am not here to make friends. I said, and my belief, Ambassador Bakai, I'm not saying A, B, or C. Ambassador Bakai is not coming to this position to womanize. Ambassador Bakai is not coming to the position to steal.
He is the only. You are very singular in your point.
You don't see.
That's not right. That's not right to the liberals.
They can't make it with me. Two of them, they joined together. They can't make it with me. They know me. They know me. I'm not here to be a friend. They know me. They know exactly what point to make it.
Hold on, guys. Okay, Joy, carry your point. Then I'll go to Dr. Toto, and then Koto can come.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, listen. Yes, Samson.
Yes.
All right, I'm zipping it. I'm zipping it.
And hold on. And he don't see anything. Perhaps what he don't see. Perhaps he don't see the thing that he want to do in Congo, in communists, and the young people. Now, the question here. If you believe that your honorable guy believe in institution instead of individual, what are young people that they have trained to turn that baton over to them? That you see today that perhaps he are not seeing it. Look, you can't come here and throw something out there and you think you're super raw. Those were your statements. He is naturalistic. But at the same time, when he was vice president, he sent a web to a group of 77. What is that? And you won't come here and talk like to say we don't know the history? He sent a web to a group of 77 when he was VP. What is that? They're not from the memo? They're not a web? So look, let's get the thing straight here. It is his right. He wants to contest. I have no problem with that. The only thing I say, if there's an issue of a health freedom or any candidates, it is in within the public domain. We'll discuss it. That one will not be. I'm not going to post nothing, but the issue that is public, we'll discuss it. Now, we know it got HIPAA. You know, people don't just give people medical records to people. It has to be concerned. We know the law here about medical records. Okay, you gave a doctor permission to speak. If he doesn't give the doctor permission, the doctor will not speak. You guys lose, he will be sued. So we know that. But what I want to say here again, and Madam Carter said, people, I want to ask you, when Honorable Barker left the vice presidency,
oh my goodness, all life.
How many people were in his circle today? How many people were in that circle? Were these people there at the time? Were they advocating for him? No. They just came on board. These people just came on board. So there is something that they want. A thing. Those who are in that inner circle is something that they want. They cannot get straight there. They want to use him to get to that point. Why Anthony Kessler cannot go back home to work? Why Joe Lobo cannot go home now to work? When Honorable Barker explained Joe Lobo is whispering in her ear. What if the pipe of Benina Ure today calling him uncle? What is the reason? They all have interest. I don't have interest working for communists. All I want is like bro to go forward. Just how you see at the same time I'm doing. But when there are people who are around who are sycophants, we have to call them up. Whether in Comicans, Gongo Clan, or Baga Clan, we have to call them up. And that is the crux of the matter many people don't want to listen to.
Okay. I don't know, Janitor. This has some strong comments that coming here this evening. This is unbelievable. Something is really underwater, liberal, like a house going full. Yeah, force the house and going full close. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, one of you.
You know, I'm sorry to say, but this is they're not looking good at all. Janitor.
Let me try my internet quick.
My man, you can't tell me so gay. You something better too. All of y'all hanking some kind of weird. That's the problem we're having.
From the Sacramento area there.
Yeah, but something is inside. Something is there.
Yeah.
I know that Lone Star number you brought here using or what? Look at it.
That Lone Star.
Okay. Look, Toto, come in. Dr. Toto, come in, please.
Yeah, let me just say what I'm saying some things. You know, especially some of the other point out the liberal bill. You know, we are in the greatest country in the world, the United States, where the tenor of democracy is being practiced to 99.9%. And we try to take some of the good value from here and see how best we can correlate it with Liberia and carry back home. You know, and we look at some of the good value. That's the reason why sometimes we try to make comparison with America and Liberia. We know that when it comes to the level of understanding among the voters and how people discuss the issue, it may kind of be a little bit different. But we use that as a yardstick, you know, to see how best we can make some rational decision when it comes to Liberia. Just in my own state, in Pennsylvania, about Senator Joe Fetterman has a massive stroke that affected his speech. And looking at that, he went into a tough election and he won. The voter did not grade him on because of his speech problem or a health problem. And he won that election. So when it comes to Liberia, despite my support for Tewa Gonglo, and I know that he's the better alternative to lead Liberia, to be Liberia where Liberia is, I believe in him. But when it comes to discussing Ambassador Boyka health, whether it's viable to the president, I want to go into his policy. What policy that he has on here that can bring some fundamental change in Liberia, and those are the policies that I want to personally or debate, you know, but not to go into a personal health record. Ambassador Boyka, now a kid, he know why he joined the race. People discuss a personal health record. I think that you see it. But as an opposition, we want to knock out George Weah from power. I don't think that should be our prime concern. There are a lot of things that affect the population in the country. You talk about the voter population of black. I think George Weah keep making his music, and he keep on another music about Nima Kante. And people dancing to it. So the opposition blacks will effective strategy to see how best to go out and campaign and knock George Weah out instead of going on or being so concerned about this person help this, and that's a disappointment I have in people that Lema Bowie, and not just a labor figure like Bureau, she's a high profile person like Bureau, she makes it there, they kind of lot. And the Unity Party is a serious disagree, and the Unity Party have been having serious or problem even from editor or George or say you have the Eden Black, we have Best of Gafine then when the oil in our party. We have Toka Makito then on the other side to the left that party, the other way ANC. So the Unity Party, even in the US in America, the UP US they have a serious problem. They have a split. They have the couple Doyan group. They have the other group from Canada, also America. They have what they got or Samuel Widerden group. They are not working together. They have a serious split within the party. So if you look at the Unity Party right now, they are in complete disarray. I don't know how they are focusing right now to carry the message onto the people, and they have that distraction with the ambassador health. They need to have something good to put on the or else we can cry, we can say everything we want to do, by the end of the day, the ANC also making some vibrant or move. Kwame is everywhere. Kwame making some engagement out there. You're reaching out to people and things. And that's why also my candidate also to doing something too. So Labour, the Unity Party is seen to be the big brother. But I don't think they are putting enough effort to really try to change the status course or to change the political dynamic that are going on right now. I think that's a serious concern.
Okay. For the respect of our audience, I know I'm going to be slim here in my absence. What I try to do stuff here. Leaving Libra here this evening is going to be a nightmare because I know he's going to. But I trust my man Amos George will let me know. Koto, Dr. Toto will let me know. And to the audience, I don't just want to walk off, but we're going to leave the Libra here this evening, and so you will see. All right, but Libra, we respect your views, we respect your
Mr.
opinion.
So you don't have to patronize me. The people love me. The audience love me. You don't have to patronize me because a few audience that perhaps trying to see differently. That's okay. We have to disagree to agree. You don't have to patronize me. The people love me. You know that.
All right, take charge. I will still monitor. I will monitor everything. I will hear what you say.
I will block you. I will block you right now. I'm in charge. I'm in charge.
You did a gamble in the bed. That's what they in charge.
Okay, no, Mr. So thank you. Folks, again, Samson told like when we come to this position, we have to be truthful. You have to express yourself freely. There's nothing here to hide. It doesn't mean what I say here that I expect people to agree with me. They can disagree with me. That's okay. That's okay. But I must be truthful that I don't want to come out here and say something because the people will disagree with me. Therefore, I should hold myself. I don't think that's what we're here to do. So let's go. I think we have a few more minutes here to go for this. So I think let's stick with the part. Let's stick with this issue here. And the point that I was trying to make here, and then I think I'll come back to Kotu very quickly. The point that I was making here is that and everything I stated here, I said perhaps based on all of my statement, based on assumption. I have not had a conversation with Ambassador Baka. They don't even know me. I just admire Ambassador Baka. And I'm saying everything that I stated is based on assumption. If my assumption is correct, yeah, then you can come back and tie this thing around me. But if not, then, I'm a liberal.
I was speaking the same thing, Mr. Toa. I said perhaps you said, but perhaps they are qualified people.
I agree. No, I'm not holding you. You know I don't hold you. Whatever you say is your view. Let's go to you. Kotu, what do you make of all the conversation here now?
Thank you, Mr. Toa. I listened to people coming up where Lima gave an option. Lima knows what we did to get Ellen into power. If she had this on mind to discuss about Vice President Barker, I know what she would have done, and I know what she's capable of doing. I'm making this statement because I know Lima personally. If she knows she wanted to implement what she wrote in this letter, she knows who are the women she could get to get this done. But did she say I made an attempt and it didn't work? No, it is not stated in that letter. Did she say I get this candidate on mind that we can follow? No, she did not state that in a letter. Did she make any move in uniting these political parties? No. And this is why I really agree with Mr. Dr. Toto for what he said. Open Barker is not our contender for other, especially the opposition. What does she be focusing on now? How to promote one another? But it's so unfortunate that many who I see involved in this whole discrimination, or who is on the description of Ambassador Barker's email, is they came off the ANC. Which is not right. You hardly see the CDC start talking about it as compared to the ANC. And I'm telling you, I am in the ANC. I don't exclude myself from the ANC, but I see what I do is very bad. You don't go your group, your opponent, or let me not say your opponent because okay, let's agree that they are their opponent. But you have a greater opponent. Then you keep tearing your clothes out there in front of your opponent. That's what they continue to do. When other people come to defend Baka, then they say, oh, Baka people coming to attack them. You think you should attack Omer Baka? People, surrogates, when I come to attack you, of course they will come to attack you. They will come. And I'm saying it from the point I know Lima point is, she knows who to get to unite these people. How many times I have not gone to the ANC, the women of America here, women here, to see how we could resolve this one problem today that have gone virus. And they refuse. And we know what we did to get Ellen into power. We went as women from one door to another to unite women. Lima had all women, even though she was not the initial person that put all women in the field at the time when we were talking about the peace talk. But indeed, because at the time she was having an organization, she took the initiative to be the head of these women. That indeed she took to the peace talk, which became successful today that we can account for peace talk for women. And we know during the Ellen regime what we did to elect Ellen. So if she wanted to do that, around, she had the opportunity to do it. But I didn't see that from her.
Okay, let me go to Mr. George. Mr. George, I read it at a maze here because I've not been, I didn't have, and I've never had the opportunity to read our letter. So, but what I want to find out from you though, let's just look at the letter itself and whatever she wrote in there. Do you think that was the right thing to do, or you think the right thing would be to, even with that kind of heavy concern that she had, which is her feelings, and those feelings are based on the love for the country. I don't think it has anything to do with hate. I think it has to do with the love for the country. Do you think those feelings would have been best expressed if she was to go and meet Ambassador Bakai, or you think perhaps they met and Ambassador Bakai refused to give her an audience, and that's why she's coming in public?
No, let me say this. Nyima, that's the one who can buy her tongue. Even when she was with Ellen, she told Ellen at the time that Ellen was not doing the right thing. When George were invited her to speak at that July 26th, she spoke her mind. So Nyima Bowe is not known for someone who bought her tongue. Even before this letter, recently, she issued a press release that all the political parties have approached her. It is not coming, Baka, Gonglo, they all have approached her. But she said she wanted people to get together, to work together. So it's not Nyima Bowe for that. And in that letter, she didn't say Joe Baka, she said Uncle Joe. So I believe she has some close tie to Joseph Baka. Because if I call your Uncle Sam, press in a letter, I have to have some contact, close connection to you to call you Uncle Sam, or just a Samson Tour, or former engineer Samson Tour. When she makes it Uncle Joe. So I believe there was some conversation. Perhaps, I'm not saying it did occur, I'm just speculating. But for her to him as Uncle Joe, it appears that there's a connection between she and Honorable Baka. So the letter being put out there, it's a fair letter. Nyima Bowe is a stakeholder in Liberia. Mm-hmm. She's not like Joe Blow like me. She's a stakeholder. And if she feels that something need to be addressed or express her concern, it is her right. Whether people like it, but it is her right. People may not like it now, but I bet you there are some people within that party feeling that discomfort. But the thing here is, people are afraid to say the right thing. That's many in many institutions.
So let me go to that. Let me go to Dr. Toto. If you had the opportunity,
and Koto, I don't know, but can you show me the post that the ANC made that they are the one fermenting this thing?
We'll come back to that. Mr. George, we'll come back to that. Mr. George, we'll come back to that. Kotu, we'll come back to that. Okay, hold on, guys. We'll come back to that, please. Dr. Tutu, let me ask you this: if you
Yeah.
have the opportunity to be asked to give an advice, not necessarily a supporter, but just as somebody who is educated and asked to give an advice on this issue, if Dr. Baka was Honorable Baka was to turn to you and say, what do you think I need to do at this time? What will be your advice? You think, honestly?
I think my best advice to Ambassador Boyka is to engage or have a public doctor. That's a private physician, not public doctor, a private physician to come out and make a public statement on behalf of him that we have examined the ambassador and we found nothing wrong with him. He fit and qualified to be the president of Liberia. If anybody want to engage the ambassador, it should not be a health issue, as I said. It should be based on his policy. What he have is up. What is the benchmark that he will go for to leave Liberia by good governance? I think that should be our prime focus and debate about. Let a public statement come from a physician or a private physician to come up and clear the air about a health concern because it created a lot of doubt, it created problem in the electoral process, and opposition will take it. No matter we don't have control over people. People take the negative aspect of it and they will run to it. And whether you get a poor health or good health, they will make it an issue. So I think private or physician would be the best alternative to really clear the doubt and clear the air for it.
All right, let me go back to Culture. Culture, the question then is that I know you're connected. I'm not, like I said, I just admire Ambassador Baka. I'm not connected to any of their insider. I have no clue who they are. They don't know me. I don't know them. I'm just somebody who admire him because I think he can help to stabilize the country. That's the only feeling that I have. But those of you that are connected, let me ask you this: the fact that Ambassador Baka will go to JFK, is it because they're broke, or because the illness was not that serious? EWA. Was it because they were broke? Because most of the time, the reason I'm asking, most of the time, one of the big shot ones that get little illness or whatever it is, they tend to fly out of the country. And yeah, Ambassador Baka staying right there in Liberia. Is it because they were broke? Three things. Is it because, number one, is it because they're broke and they're not able to afford flying out of the country? Or because the illness, is it because the illness is not serious and therefore Dr. Baka, Ambassador Baka decided to do the treatment in EWA? Or Ambassador Baka wants to set an example that not every big shots in this place, when they get ill, they will leave the healthcare system that are in place here and go somewhere else. What are those? What exactly is happening here?
Thank you, Mr. To. Before I answer your question, I want to clear something out that Mr. Amos George said, and I think Mr. Toto said part of it, that there's conflict in the Unity Party that is leading, is having problem with Boyka.
Let us don't try. Hold on. Let us don't try to get into Unity Party dispute and what have you. Those are politics. That's not. Please go straight to my question, please.
I understand, but the thing is, they are in Unity Party, and no other candidate came out to say they want to run as standard bearer, and the person was denied. Okay. Let them point that out. There is nobody.
Okay, we can't have ANC and somebody from Congo to come and dissect the illness of Unity Party. I don't think that. Let's leave that alone. Go ahead. Go to my question.
We go back to the question.
Yes.
I think the statement did the right thing, because for any intelligent person or any respectable person, the first thing that he trusts the people of Liberia. I think he trusts the medical facilities, and that's why he took the initiative to go there first. Because if you get ill, you don't know what is actually wrong with you until the doctor can diagnose what you have. So I think it was the right thing he did to go to the medical center that is available, that he felt comfortable with, and he went there. If for any reason he will be asked to go for further medical facility or medical attention, then of course he can take that off. But besides, the old man already had a plan to come to the States. He had a plan scheduled here. But because of some problem at the time that they had to handle in Liberia at the time, because of some meetings he had to go to with Dimba, Lofa, and other places, he had to suspend his coming here to go through that. And he told his people here, when I should have gone through that, then I would come to the States. We all know that. There was a meeting that he should have had here. And they suspended it because he had a meeting to attend. So if it is a serious condition that he needs to be taken out of Liberia, he will be. But that was not the case. And that was not the case that he, but back and forth right now, even if he doesn't have money, it is the responsibility of the Liberia government to take him out of Liberia. Because he is a state man. I see we are boasting about giving money to Honorable Baka, but he is the responsibility. That's his responsibility. That even today, if Baka he were to be flown out, it would be the Liberia government responsibility to get him out. So I don't think that was the problem. But it wasn't an ailment that needed just to be taken out of Liberia to get that clear.
Okay.
So
all right, the few minutes we have left, let's look into our own plate and see what are some of the things that we've I know today's a holiday, but before the last time we were here, since then up to now, Mr. Josh, what are some of the things that are really, besides Ambassador Barker health issue where Liberian people now may get into their own business, which they have the right to, but besides that, what are some of the pressing issues with respect to Liberia that perhaps are concerning to you?
Oh, the biometric system, because that tied to the elections, that is very, I'm looking at it, and other people are talking about it now, and the election commission said they want to start the ID card process. And those are some of the issues. The other one is the Western Clause of the deal. I have not laid my hand on any of the paper, so I cannot speak about it. But those are some of the issues. And something I saw, but it had not been discussed. You know, the Revenue Authority, they established a foundation. And I try to look at the act, there's nowhere, that's a public corporation, to establish a foundation. It's trying to me, and people are not talking about it. But this is how people misuse government money. How will a public corporation go establish a foundation? It's nowhere in the act that created the Liberia Revenue Authority. So those are some of the things that trending that are looking at, and we have not been able to discuss this because it's very critical. Why will a public corporation go establish a foundation?
I see. Okay. Well, we'll look into that. Is there anything else on your plate?
Oh, no. I mean, other people got to speak, so.
Okay. Dr. Toto, what's about you?
Yeah, Liberia, as I said, look at how things unfolding in Liberia. You know, I'm waiting for President Weah, the state of the nation address. Let me see the type of message that will come from him. As I read the speech of Madam Vice President to the opening of the legislatures, she highlighted some things that these were serious national attention, and whether these things were not corrected, especially when it comes to the censor. We saw the outcry of the censor that were held recently, whether it meet international standard. We're still waiting here. Well, she praised that in her speech. She talked about some of the challenges that they face, and they are happy that the censor were conducted, whether it be the national standard. So we'll be waiting to hear from the president. You know, I guess you'll definitely talk about that. You know, because that's a serious issue. Because when it comes to national censor, you know, it is a gateway to economic and social development in the country. If if at all, they don't meet international standard, you know how the effect they're going to have on the economy for the next coming years. I mean, ahead of us. And then also too, when it comes to the issue of drugs in the country, you see potential youth, our our population, most of the young population like Liberia, they're so affected in terms of drugs that are entering the country, what the government doing, all these things. It's something that really call for national attention. And the vice president mentioned that in her speech also too. We need to look into those that in 2023 now, we need a strong policy to address the issue. You know, and then when it comes to the security issue in the country also too, it's a serious national concern. I continue to say the chief of staff made a blanket statement some time ago, and up to now, I don't know if I or he been here or call for debriefing on some of the allegations that he made. And there was some arm entering the country, that will enter when the election year. These are national issues. Those are not concerned to me. And we hope to find a way forward to address the issue. I hope that the president state of the nation address that will be coming up probably next week. We'll, we will hear a lot of things from the address and we'll try to digest some of them, whether it will have any positive or negative impact or in the election coming like Bureau. We hope to see the best.
Thank you. Kotu, what's on your plate?
What on my plate is two things. Mr. Toto has already stated them, but I needed to elaborate on them more. That is the census issue. We have been hearing from various counties that the census was not done properly. That is, there have been a lot of errors that they have not even marked or carried on census. And coming out to say that the census, process was completed, that raised an eyebrow also on that. Because there are many people who said that they did not even see the census agent in their community. So I don't know which form of data that was collected, because they have different type of census. But again, like Toto said, we wait to see the result. Because if you come out to tell us what form of census you conducted, then we know how to investigate that. Second is this the arm that was formed. We know that it has raised serious concern in the Liberia community, especially for those that are sending barrels and containers back home. It causing some serious problems for them. We already have problem in Liberia where people items were being taken or stolen from the free port because of the search. And if they had, because the reason why the price went up was because they said that they were going through the scanning process of the container. If you were doing the scanning process, then how come arm came into the country? Are you telling me that the security system there was defective, or the process that they gave this project to these people was defective? So that is questionable. You cannot have Liberian people sending their things back and not getting what they send back to their people. Right now, I have heard some people complaining that their container or barrels have been opened and some of their items are destroyed. And it's a serious concern because many people depend on their family back home to send things for them. If that is happening now, it would be a serious, problem in our country. And those two things, with addition to what Mr. Toto said, I think they are all serious. And I said it here too, with the defense minister coming up with that statement, and we talked about it. I said it was very bad for it to come from him, because once as a statement and a security man, you heard somebody saying that they want you to overthrow. You who have been heading that team to investigate or even extradite whoever was involved in that act to be investigated. But up to this time, we have not heard anything about it. And somebody asked again whether Ambassador Boyka have gone to any medical facility in Liberia. Yes. Here there has been his medical center that he always went to, and that's why he trusted the medical center to go there. And that way he has always gone based on my investigation. That this is not his first time going there. Even when he was vice president, he attended the EAWA Medical Center. So that's not his first time going there. So
Thank
the
you.
get people who had this doubt clear, that's where he has always gone.
Okay, we'll come back to you.
Let me just make a
Yeah,
correction
go ahead.
to Koto's statement. It was not the defense minister that made the statement, it was the chief of staff.
Yeah, he was, I think, defense. That sorry, thank you very much. Yeah, chief of staff. Sorry, thank you.
Mr. George,
Yeah.
what will be your closing this evening?
It's not confirmed, but I get a report from Minnesota that the man who was council in Minnesota says that I hope maybe Cecil will be able to speak to this much better, because they say that they have removed him, and they said they want to upgrade area council general. So, but the person that the contract will be awarded to a Ghanaian company that does the passport for Liberia. And that is raising eyebrow in Minnesota, because they say the guy who have been there, he's been very hardworking. He knows the people, and there are rumors that the foreign minister don't get along with him, trying to push him up and take the contract to give it to a Ghanaian, and they say they're going to upgrade to a council general office in Minnesota. But the question, what concerns me is that I don't hate foreigners, but I always say, what they do to us, we should do the same thing.
But you don't hate
There's
them.
nowhere. I don't hate them. I have very good Ghanaian friends. But, Mr. So, if you live in Ghana, what I'm telling you, or anybody that lives in Ghana, they will tell you, for other national to make it in Ghana, it's not easy. It's not easy. They would say, except our people ain't qualified.
Okay.
But today, we see that the airport in Monrovia is given to Ghanaian. You think Ghanaian would take the airport and give it to Liberian? In Ghana, I'll give an example. Right. Andrew Mann is a guy who was director of FBS. Quick story. He was in Ghana. He was working on one radio station. He was going to Legon at the time. When the Ghanaian found out that that guy was not a Ghanaian, they called the parliament member. They say, if you don't fire him, you're going to lose your job. Now, how can that man reluctantly let Andrew Mann to go from Ghana, from that radio station? This is not, it's no propaganda, it's the reality. If the Liberian government wants a council general in Minnesota, fine. You can vote for any other American. But a Ghanaian to be council general in Minnesota, not even Ghana, if that Ghana, you can say, okay, maybe the man got some connection with Liberia. But to move somebody there because they will not give you a kickback, and I'm just speculating. But I won't say, maybe since we'll be on top of the story here.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow we'll discuss that. Let me go to Kotu. What will be your closing? Then we'll come to Dr. Toto to close.
In the closing today, I want to talk to our Liberian people. Let's be conscious minded of who to elect. I know right now there will be a lot of story coming up because it's election period. There will be just anything to just uprise or disturb, people, other people, serious-minded people, to distract them of who they want as their candidate. But I want to tell our Liberian people, don't be distracted. Just try to focus on the right thing to do, because there will be a lot of things that will be coming to distract you. And it is the strategy of the let's say the leadership right now to do everything to distract you of not taking on the right person to voting. If you think today Joshua is doing best, then fair enough. But if you think Joshua is not doing the best thing, let's try being united in the opposition to see how best we can vote Joshua out. Because if you sit there and say Joshua is not doing well, but if the opposition is not holding together, you will be put in the hands, the Liberia back in the bad hands that you don't want to. So let's just focus and do the right thing. Because if you don't do the right thing, you hold yourself responsible. We are facing the problem, no matter what it is. We are in America today, but we are facing the pinch of what is happening in Liberia more than even those that are there. Because you will not see your Liberians dying. Right now, what we're discussing here, we could be home sleeping, but we're not sleeping. We're here discussing. We're not to work discussing because we know the effect comes on us. So
Okay.
that's why my concern today. I am still considering to discuss this. Let's be very careful of what we do in Liberia because and what I'm seeing right now, there will be lots. We just started. I said it before, and this is what's happening. There will be a lot of issues coming up to distract us. So
Okay.
let's not be distracted.
We'll be ready. Thank you, Culture. Doc, let's come to you for the closing.
Yeah, I think it's a very good discussion, tonight, and also the point that
Of course, it's a very good discussion because the liberal is in control. When the conservative comes here, he control his conservative weight around and think that then you have the center right taking side. That's what they must say. Don't get it on well. But go ahead.
a very good discussion. The point that whatever George we have the council general in Minnesota. I know Johnson George is a person I know very personally, a good friend.
Mr. Toto, is that guy Liberian?
Yeah, Johnson George.
Is he a Liberian?
The Liberian, a very good friend.
Oh, okay. That's many people. Okay.
Yeah, a very good friend and a very good brother. So if I know the wife very well, and I will try to make some outreach on it. Will provide some information on the platform. In closing to the discussion to that, the only thing I want to raise that look, in Liberia there are so many issues that the opposition can take on to unseat George Weah. There are so many things when you look at the economic condition in Liberia, even the social environment also you see in the country. It's just so terrible. You look at the sanitation problem, you look at the environmental issue in the country. There are so many things they can use to unseat George Weah, or instead of the way against taking on somebody health concern. We know at this time here, I don't think it will be for the opposition to come together as one body to unseat George Weah because if they mess up already, they can come together now. If they come together, well, that'll be good. But for now, I don't think they'll come together. But let them run a united front campaign. Instead of attacking one another. Because if you look at what is going on right now on social media, we also heard that ANC, Unity Partisan, going against ANC Partisan, attacking one another, showing all kinds of jab, and the meeting is so focused on, they're not focusing on, and they're giving President Joy Weah a free walk. The one when you play the baseball, the keyboard, gonna give you free walk, and that's why it's happening. We are having free walk and moving forward. If we don't post out to the free walk, we'll see another president of Georgia Weah again this coming year, and we don't want. That's what they don't want to see. So they need to work together. They may not join together as a united force, as a coalition, but they have separate ways. There are so many things in that country they can use to see George Weah.
All right. Well, Dr. Toto, Mr. Josh, I want to thank you guys very much for your patience. And let's try and come back again tomorrow. We'll have another edition of Liberian Public Radio. Thank you guys very much, and we'll say good night to all of you, of course.
They kick your man out. Come on here, kick that guy out.
Yeah. Mr. Josh, Koto as well. Say good night. Thank you. Again, folks, Samson to Liberian Public Radio. I want to thank all of you again tonight for tuning in to Liberian Public Radio. We want to thank you very much for expressing yourself freely here tonight as well. I hope you will agree with us when we try to express ourselves freely as well, because we have to agree to disagree. You don't have to agree with what I say, but let me have the opportunity to express myself freely, so you can also have that same opportunity to express yourself freely. Lastly, I want to say this message specifically to the president. We had a county meet and it was the entire time I was watching it. I believe, yesterday I was at work too, watching it, and it was exciting. It was exciting. But what I want to say to the president, as someone who loves football, I play football myself, and not at the president level, far from it. I play football in total. Let me put it that way. No, but on a very serious note, there was a young man that played for Nima County. I think his name was Emmanuel Sie. At first, when the commentator started describing this young man before he scored his first goal, and I'm thinking to myself, well, let me see what he can do. In fact, because of the description of this young man, pricked my interest more to tune in. So I started watching it. And thanks to KMTV, they have some real spectacular way of terrorizing the sport, especially the sport soccer. That it seems like they have the same type of system they have here, where they have a camera in the midfield that runs all over the place to zoom into specific action and what have you. I think that was very wonderful. But when they started describing this young man, I said, well, let me see what he can do. And I saw a young man who was not afraid. In Liberia, they got the Liberians, some players that are not really up to par. They just put them there to frighten people. But this young man didn't care. They got some people that were kicking and things like that. They didn't matter to him. His concentration was to score, and he did the first goal. The first goal was, you can say, okay, well, any good forward striker will score. But the second goal, with that header, remember now, he's only 16 years old. But not only was he brave enough to jump, but the style of jumping, if you watch that, those of us that are older, if you watch that kid, his style of jumping, and he's big, and he uses his body real well as well. But his style of jumping remind me about Santo Maria. Now, if you don't know who Santo Maria is in Liberian soccer, then I feel bad for you. Okay, but this kid jumped, and it's like while he was in the air, he's not tall. And it's like while he was in the air, he decided to jump again, which is, I asked my mom that question. He said, Samson, that's impossible, because Santo Maria has the ability to jump higher, and he jumped higher than some of the defenders that were taller than him. And while he was in the air, he was able to turn his head on the dime to match the speed of the ball. That kid has some serious talent. I've not seen that kinds of talent before since Dr. Weir. And I want to say to the president, those of us that follow football, if the president, if he has connection in Europe, we pray that the president will do all he can to get that kid out of Liberia now. He's 16 years old. Putting in the hands of some coach over there, some club that will be able to bring this kid up. He has a talent. I never really watched Diba one or two times. I really never saw Diba playing the way people say he did. So I can't say much about that. But I can put this kid back to Santo Maria. Now, his strength, just like Santo Maria, the way he moved the ball, just like Santo Maria, and that was way back in the 70s. And this kid it was just amazing yesterday. And one other thing that I noticed yesterday also is the field itself. I'm not too sure what they put on that field, but if God help me, I go to Liberia, I would like to visit that field. It seems like the field, perhaps they have some sort of a rubber pallets that they cut into pieces. You see them here in the football stadiums. They put artificial turf on it, but among them they have the little rubber pieces of rubber pallet that have cut them fine, just like sand. And every time the ball bounces, you see the dirt comes out, and you can tell it's not grass. It's not grass. I'm not too sure what is that. And if the kids try to tackle the ball, whatever, you can see the dirt coming up. I'm not too sure what that is. But they said they fix it. But I'm not concerned with the field itself. My concern is with our young man. I don't have contact in Europe. I don't even have contact yet. Now, to the mom of this young man, he's only 16 years old. I have a 16-year-old myself. So 16, they're very mouthy, and they think they know everything on earth. You the parent, you don't know much. Okay, but what I want to say to the mom and even the father is that if you guys think that this young man perhaps he's not going to go as fast as serious soccer business in Europe, then let him use this opportunity now for his video to be sent here in the United States to the colleges, to the university, and let them recruit him. He will play, he will be most likely, the kid is very good, most likely, he will have a full scholarship to go to one of the major university. If his tape is being shared around, if you want to do that, you can designate people to send his tape to them, and they can send his tape, his soccer tape, to many of the university. And I bet you it won't even take a week before they tell him when you're ready. But in fact, most likely they will tell him, okay, bring him over here and send him to some of the elite high school, so that the university will be able to get him. This kid is just talented. I'm not going to hide it. Very talented. He's too good. And I like his when he scores, he doesn't celebrate as though I want to rub it in the face of the opposition. He celebrates like any other young people scoring the goal. That discipline. He has a discipline. And in fact, when Lofa had the penalty, you saw him telling the goalkeeper, let's go get it. That's leader. And he's only 16 years old, my brothers and sisters. This young man is only 16 years old. So I would say I'm out of time. I would ask the president to please, whatever it is you can do, just do like you did with the other kid that found that money and turned it over, and you made that kid centerpiece of your ethic behavior in the country, for people to look up to this young kid and be ethical. You can do this with this one as well. You can bring him up if you have contact in Europe. Let him go to Europe if you have the ability, if you have the contact. I'm sure people in Europe would love to have him. Please let his talent don't get wasted. Please. Because I can't say anything more than that. That's all I want to say about that young man. So let's pray to God that young man will be successful, even though he's so lofa. And I say to my Tabagi brothers and sisters, I'm sorry. They gave back were able to come on top. No, on a very serious note. I like this sport meet. These are things why the politicians try to make big deal out of it. These young men themselves, they enjoy it. And one of the things that I also noticed that is far different from the days that I was in Liberia. And you don't have people taking Lone Star players to go here and there. Lone Star player, they all always want to play for here and there. This time I hope that they will take this thing here to the next level. I truly enjoy to the Liberian Football Association, to our own good friend, Ormozoka Wilson. I think your group displayed a wonderful program yesterday. I want to thank you. Under your leadership, we can now say it again that Liberia is getting closer to that point where our brothers will be able to, even sister will be able to play freely in Liberia and be able to show their talent as well. Liberian soccer is good from days from Waniboto time. Liberians have always been able to produce some real soccer. I don't know what's going on now, but as you can see, this young man, the soccer talent in Liberia, It's there. It's there. I want to take this time now to say thank you very much, and then I will say good night to you, and we will be back here again. Liberian Public Radio will be open again tomorrow. Mr. So will be up here, and we will do what we have to do. It's been a wonderful, wonderful evening. Good night, folks.